testing the new vlog camera. Very high definition vlog camera. I'm not used to seeing myself in such sharp footage. Yeah, I've got a new vlog camera. I've got the Fujifilm XS20. There was a lot of toing and froing between this and that DJI Pocket One, but the Fujifilm for me personally was the winner because of its actual video quality, and also the fact that I can take some great images with this as well. I ideally needed a camera that could do both, otherwise I'm carrying around almost 3 different cameras, and that is not ideal. So yeah, hello from the Fuji. This is literally the first time I've kind of properly done some talking at the camera with this camera, so I am unsure how the audio will be. Might be some teething problems over the next week or so, so just bear with me, but hopefully the picture is nicer than what I was vlogging on. I've just been in the loft doing a bit of a kind of seasonal switchover, probably at risk of there being a snowstorm next week or something, and I severely regret putting my thick coats up in the loft, but I'm also just kind of I'm done. I'm really done with it now. So I was like, do you know what? The coats need to go up, the thick knitwear needs to go up, and I'm going to bring down some summer stuff. I'm also going to Menorca at the end of next week. The forecast isn't looking too good, but I'm going to take some summery stuff anyway in the hopes that there will be some good weather. And in doing so, I'm just getting really excited about spring and summer now. I love my spring and summer wardrobe. I actually love summer more than I love winter, and I think it's because summer's such a short-lived season in this country. The excitement of it is sustained in terms of dressing, whereas with winter it just goes on and on and on, and you just get to the point where you're I can't do this anymore. I'm done with it. And I think because we have such a short-lived summer, I'm less inclined to shop. I find myself shopping way less in the summer because the things I have don't get as much wear as I would like them to. So over the past few summers, I've definitely kind of really nailed my kind of formulas that I like to wear. Big floaty cotton dress with some sort of slightly dad-ish orthopedic sandal, a large Bermuda short, a very wide Bermuda short with a sort of small top, and a flip-flop, or it's a pair of loose linen trousers, or a barrel leg trouser with a tank top. They're the 3 combos that I pretty much rely on in the summer, or a big full skirt and a tank top. That's another one that I quite like. And having nailed that, every summer now I'm I just love what I have, and that's a very nice feeling to be very excited each time I bring these things down from the loft. So I thought I'd show you some things that I brought down, because I think a lot of these will be recognisable pieces from over the previous summers. The first being these really, really good Shane Moat barrel leg trousers. By the time this vlog is up, I will have posted a kind of trouser roundup on Instagram and saved it to a highlight, because these trousers, I think they're about 2 summers old now. Every time I wear them, they are one of my most inquired about trousers, but the brand, unfortunately, haven't redone them in this fabric or colour. They've redone the shape, but just in a slightly different colour and fabric. So I'm putting together a kind of alternate edit, because at the moment, I think the curved leg trousers having such a moment, isn't it? So if this is the kind of shape that you're seeking out, I think now is the time to find it, because there's just so many options out there. So I'm kind of putting together an edit of for people who are kind of my height, 5'3" to 5'5", because it can be hard to find trousers like this when you're short. So I might even try them with this shirt. Actually, I think they might look quite cool. Great Breton from Mateau, super boxy shaped. Then I got this tank top a couple of summers ago as well from a brand called Subtle Studios. They're a Vietnamese brand. I actually don't know if they're still going. They used to be stocked on Essence, I believe. And it's this kind of crochet tank top, but it has this double layer to it. It's really hard to illustrate when it's just here, but it has 2 layers, which creates quite a nice bit of detail. DHL have just pulled up outside. I'm really hoping Dean's downstairs and he can open the door so I don't have to open the door. But this is one that gets worn a lot with a big Bermuda short as a nice balancing act. Also, that double layer is quite handy because obviously the material, that double layer creates a bit of coverage when wearing no bra. I can pretty much get away with it because of the double layers. Anyway, this top also just a great one. This one's from an Aussie brand called Matin, and it has 3 ties at the front. It's almost like a kind of waistcoaty type top, but not quite as fitted, and it's linen. I'm obsessed with this brand. I bought quite a few of their pieces when I was in Australia last January, so January 2023, because it was their end of summer sales. I felt like I was almost like cheating the system by buying the summer stuff discounted before our summer even began. So I bought quite a bit of Matin stuff because their pieces are really, really nice. And then this is also Menorca. I love this shirt so much. I cannot wait to wear this. It's got such beautiful embroidery on the front. These are a classic. These are from COS a couple of seasons ago. Like just a really good sort of sandy coloured chino. They work really well with brights. So like this would be a great look. Just the chino, this shirt and t-shirt, and a loafer maybe, or even like just a flip-flop. A really good one for offsetting brighter colours. These did not get as much wear as I hoped they would last summer because I kind of bought them towards the back end of the summer. They're from Totem. These are a jort. Is that what we're calling them? Jorts. They're really thick though, like a thick indigo denim, so they need to be worn in a bit more. But they're a great one to just pair with like a t-shirt, a belt, a flip-flop. Also quite a good one for like an evening look with maybe like a shirt and maybe like a heeled flip-flop and a belt. But yeah, I just need to like wear them in a bit more because they're really stiff. And continuing the theme of large, wide. I love these shorts so much. Like, I love them so much. I can't wait to wear them. These are from Corley Studio. These are the Hilda shorts. And I'm hoping that one day she does them in some different fabrics because it's such a fun shape that I think would work really well in like, what's that silk that's kind of like thick and holds its shapes? I don't think it's taffeta. I think it's beginning with D. It's the one that's slightly textured and really holds its shape beautifully. How fun would these shorts be in like a kind of silk, like a coloured silk? These get a hefty amount of wear in the summer. They actually could probably do with a little bit of a dry clean because they've got a few sun cream stains on them. But they're so good. Just big, wide cotton. And I like to play around with the balance of the big shorts with like a small top, like that crochet one I showed you. This top from by Milena Bayer did not get anywhere last summer because I just didn't have the occasion for it, which is definitely a learning curve. Some of you might remember in Copenhagen, was it last summer or the summer before? I tried on the yellow version of this top, but I was seeking out the black and it was sold out everywhere. And then I eventually found it on sale and yeah, just didn't wear it. So I'm determined to get some wear out of this season. It's basically just like this singular piece of fabric and it goes on like this and then ties at the back and then you've got this like train either side. So this will be a nice one. This could actually work quite well with those Bermuda shorts or maybe even the Totem ones. Also could look quite cool with like a chino to kind of, you know, do a bit of a contrast there. I've got a fancy dinner in a couple of weeks and I'm going to try and make this work for that fancy dinner, I think, because it's a beautiful top, but yeah, unfortunately did not get the wear I anticipated it would. And then, oh, this skirt. Whoa. This is from The Row, but I got this on Vestiaire Collective for, I think it was like £200 and it retailed at £1,200. And before I bought it, I was kind of like to the seller, why are you selling this for so low? And she was convinced that there was a defect, like there's a mark on it. And I was like, do you know what? I can probably get it out. Like, you know, I can probably get a stain out. I, for the life of me, could not find this stain that she spoke about. I was like, I can't find a mark. All I could find was like a tiny little pull in the linen and that was it. And I was like, honestly, no, I cannot see anything wrong with this skirt. It's a beautiful skirt. The outer layer is linen, and then underneath you've got this cotton layer. So it's not really see-through, but still has a very kind of delicate look to it because of this top layer. So that was a great vestiaire find, probably one of my best vestiaire finds. Continuing with the trousers. Oh, these are. See, I want to wear all this stuff now. I'm so excited. These are from Mateau. They're the fisherman trousers. They're curved leg, and then they have a tie waist that you really like pull in and cinch in. And then you can kind of wear them paper bag, or you can fold over the top section. I am very tempted to buy the green. They also do them in white, but I feel like I've got enough white trousers. They won't really fill a gap as such. Whereas the green, it's a very sort of like pale kind of khaki, I think would be really nice. I've just got to find someone selling them in the UK. I keep trying to hunt them down on like Vinted or Depop because I really don't want to be stung at customs if I order them directly. But yeah, the green's playing on my mind because I think that would look really nice with like browns. Would also look quite nice with just with black. White. It's just like it's a neutral, really, isn't it? It's not really a pop of green. There's a lot of Aussie brands here. This was another sale find. These are a pair of linen trousers from Matin. They're so good because the linen's really thick and also the elasticated band is quite thick, so they create a really nice shape on the waist. And they have belt loops, which is such a rarity to find elasticated waists with belt loops. So I really appreciate that. And I thought for then I had another Matin studio top. This one, this is such an oldie, but it's such a great one. This knitted vest from Arquette, which many of you will recognise. This is very much like the uniform in the summer. It's like this pair of white linen trousers, hair scraped back, tons of gold jewellery on, bam, great evening look. And I kind of do the same thing with this COS one. This is a little bit fancier, I'd say. It's also quite difficult to protect the modesty because these armholes are massive and then this slit's quite deep. So I end up just wearing like a kind of like nice simple black bandeau with it, or just a plain triangle bra, but again, white linen trousers, loads of jewellery, hair slicked back, just a really good evening one. Another thing I quite like in spring and summer is like a knitted vest because, you know, the weather's still a bit temperamental, it can be a bit chilly. So rather than just like a tank and a shirt, I feel like a knitted tank and a shirt is just a little bit more interesting. This one's from Shane & Moat. And then this one's really old. This was before Cordera were Cordera, and they were Monica Cordera. But they're just because I wear a lot of high-waisted things as well. These are really great if I don't want to tuck something in, and they kind of just create a bit of an interesting shape up top. Oh, the pile has just fallen on the floor. Right, two more things because this has been quite a long introduction to a vlog. I love this dress so much. This is 2 summers old now, I think. It's from Ray, and it's this massive like floaty cotton dress with this deep kind of like crossover V. I love this dress so much. This is the dress that comes with me on any sort of like city break when I know it's going to be hot. It's the dress that gets like the most kind of compliments and inquiries, you know, like people, this sounds like such a just awful humble brag, but it's the kind of dress where people stop you on the street and it's like, where's that dress from? Because I think it's just so easy to wear. It looks beautiful when it's on, and it's just unbelievably comfortable. It's a cotton, I think it's a cotton silk blend, so it's got a really nice texture to it. My biggest regret with this dress is not buying the white version, and I always check all the reselling platforms. I even check Matches just in case it might pop up again. Yeah, really regret not getting this in white. That gets worn a lot with just like a really simple kind of like walking sandal. And then this one's a classic that I think many of you will either have or recognise. It is this wide leg jumpsuit from COS. It's so wide leg and kind of drop crotch that it looks like a dress went on. Another one that's just great when temperatures are high, want to be comfy, but just kind of want to wear something that does the hard work for you and looks good with minimal effort. This is one of those pieces. Really nice straps on it, V-neck, and then on the back it's got really nice tie detail. Cos have reissued this. I just noticed it on their website. Whether the fabrication is the same, I'm unsure, but the shape is the same. Whew, I think that's enough, isn't it? Those are lots of things that I'm looking forward to wearing for spring, summer. And then, yeah, I'm going to take some of those to Menorca with me. Whether they'll get worn is a whole other question, really, isn't it? But yeah, man, I really want some warm weather. But I think at the moment, like the kind of shirt, t-shirt, and like a chino is quite a good one as it gets a little bit warmer. It's Sunday and I have an afternoon of cleaning the house top to toe ahead of me because, I mean, even though the work's happening outside, the dust and the dirt gets in. It's just unavoidable. So each weekend I just do a full deep clean, house reset, ready for the dust and the dirt to come back in again the following week. But before I do that, I'm going to go for a walk, enjoy the sun, maybe go to the bakery, get a nice coffee and some snacks. This is what I'm wearing for the walk. Just when I thought Shayna Moat couldn't outdo herself with the boy pant, one of my top 5 trousers ever, I think, she's released the Easy Pant, which, I mean, the name is very self-explanatory. It's a go-to kind of like throw on, easy to wear pant with nods to the boy. There's a pleat. Where's the pleat? There we go. There's the pleat. The shape's quite similar to the boy, but the waist is elasticated. The fabric is lighter in weight. And I think the length is just a touch longer. I'm wearing these pretty high up on my waist, and I'm probably going to get an inch or two taken off just so that if I want to wear them a little bit lower, they'll still kind of work proportionately, if you know what I mean. And I also have a 15% off code for Shayna Moat's website, which I'll leave in the description box along with all of the Shayna Moat pieces in this video. Styling it with this tank top. I do not know how to pronounce this brand. I never know if it's Floor or Flore. A really nice basics brand if you're looking for like thicker basics, like lots of, all the t-shirts and tanks have these really like thick bands around the neck and on the sleeves and cuffs, and I like that. I like a sort of heavier weight tank. I have one of the long sleeves which I love, so I decided to buy this one and the white one in the matches sale, because I think, is it now 40% off almost everything, which obviously makes quite a difference. And I love the cut. I think this is cut so well along here. I love this part to be thick because I don't particularly like this part being on show. And then with nothing underneath, this is the hemp weekend shirt. It is a really good shirt. Like, when I posted about this on Instagram, so many people were like, I've been thinking about it, like, what are your thoughts? 10 out of 10. The hemp makes the fabric feel just a tiny bit heavier than linen. It's still very soft. It's got a really nice feel to it, but I prefer the weight and the feel of this versus linen. It's a beautiful, beautiful shirt. The vivid green is great. I'm really enjoying like a vivid green and a vivid blue at the moment. You know, that kind of like Klein blue. I've always loved that. Because red is just not... It's everywhere, and I love it, and I love it when I see it on other people. But when I wear it, and I've tried to wear it a few times now, I don't feel right in it. And I think it's because I have red tones in my skin. So I feel like it's making me look even more red, especially if the light makes the red kind of reflect on my face. It just, yeah. So I'm sitting out of red because I just don't think it works for me. But I do love seeing it on other people. I'm more green and blue. And then these are Kalios sunglasses. They are the Sabre in the brown. And then my Hugo slides from the row, which were another very lucky Matches find, with the 40% off. Okay, I opened up all the garden furniture, even though it's raining outside and the garden is absolute chaos. But I was too impatient. I wanted to see what it all looked like. It's from, all of the pieces are from Anne Tradition. I just put this bench together. That's going to live outside of the studio space, like just outside here, once this is all slabbed. And then 2 low sort of like armchairs that will sit either side of this side table, either to the left of this window outside or maybe out the back door, not sure yet. And then 2 dining chairs in a very similar style to the low armchairs, and then 2 other dining chairs in this like khaki canvas, and then there is a dining table there. But the space where this is going to live currently looks like that. So it has no home at the moment. And then my desk arrived, but I'll show you that once it's not kind of buried under all this cardboard. And other updates, I think we finally found the tile, the floor tile for this space that we've gone through a lot of tile samples. The biggest issue has been finding a tile that's in stock in the UK, because as soon as we've taken shipping costs into account to get a tile from Europe over here, the prices just jump up. I think I had a £600 shipping quote for a tile, and I was just like, thanks, but no thanks. So to find a tile that we really, really like, that's in budget and is available to ship immediately, I'm like, I think we've just got to go for it. Otherwise, because lead times as well is another thing with tiles. You often get like really long lead times. I think this is the one. I think I'm gonna order it, even though at the moment the actual task of tiling this room won't be done soon because it's such a big task. I know it doesn't look like a big room, but when you look at this tile in comparison to the size of the room, it's a lot of tiles. And and the sink arrived, but we haven't unwrapped it because I think we'll just leave it wrapped up until it has a bit more of a permanent home, just to keep it protected, because there ain't no bathroom out here for it to go in. This is the current update on outside. So the kind of trench that you see around here, that is where the concrete footings will be poured. They're being poured this afternoon, and then blocks get put on top of that. So the bricklayer will come and set out all the blocks, and then the bricklaying will start. So that's when the actual kind of structure will start to really take shape, because at the moment that patch of mud just looks really meh. It also looks really small. As soon as you start actually building up, it's so much easier to visualize the rooms. So yeah, the concrete footings basically stop your house from falling down. That's what the bricks get built on top of. So that will all start happening in the next week or so, and things will start to look a little less messy. Still messy, but like just less mud and a bit more brick and structure being built. There's been a lot of mess and a lot of chaos over the last few weeks, and it might not look like we've made significant progress, but we have finished groundworks, which is a huge step forward because a third of the build is groundworks. Before you can even start building up walls, so much stuff has to happen underground with drains and foundations, and then lots of stuff happens on the ground to build a floor for the building to actually sit on. This is the footage you just saw was me helping Dean move all of our bricks when they arrived. This is the block and beam floor arriving, which is basically the start of the building's floor. Absolute chaos. I also spent a day helping Dean mix up cement to create a path that sits around the studio. This was exhausting, but very rewarding to create something from scratch. This is just more garden chaos, building materials everywhere, just piles of mud where drains and other various things had to be dug up and moved around. And then this is the start of it. This is the start of the wall. So floor went down, the blocks went down on the floor, and then walls started to go up. And then you can just see more just absolute chaos. It's just building materials everywhere. Today's May 19th, and this is the current status of the extension. You can kind of see the beginnings of the structure now. So the blocks that you can see that have been built up here are the internal blocks, so they are the walls, and then these are the external blocks, which will be the brick that you'll see entirely from the outside. The internal block gets built up first, and then the insulation, which is that orange stuff there, will get attached to these metal ties, and then once that's all attached, like that will be built up a bit more, insulation attached, and then external bricks will get built up. I think that's the order of works, but you can kind of see where they've started to set out for windows and doors, which is quite exciting because it kind of brings it to life a little bit more. Can kind of see the layout. So if I put a 0.5, actually that'd be a bit better. So this will be the doorway, like the larger doorway that leads to the garden, and then there'll be windows running along here, so you'll be able to enter through here. But there will also be a doorway here where the ladder is, which will be the way you would enter from the house, because this is currently the back door, but that's going to be blocked up and turned into a window, and then there'll be a door here. And then there'll be a window on this side. This will be a dining space. Then there'll be a step up into a kitchen space, which will have windows running along the top here, kind of above the kitchen. That there will be a side entrance, which will lead into a utility, and you'll be able to access this area from there as well. So there's almost like two side entrances, like the back entrance, then this side entrance. Then there will be a wall here, and the other side of that wall, that's the downstairs bathroom. There'll be a window there, and then door there to get in, because that will be the only way to get in. There'll also be a toilet in here as well. So it is coming together slowly but surely. There's just so much that has to be done in the ground, and I mean literally in the ground. The amount of work that has gone into just getting this floor in, getting the drains all moved, because you know you have to have obviously all your drains in place ready for sinks, baths, toilets, etc, etc, and there's so much work that goes into just getting that done, which is why there's just like a trench around the side of the house at the moment, because we have to wait. You also have to wait for any drain moves that you make have to be signed off by builder control. So they're coming out, I think, tomorrow, and they will check that this has all been done correctly, and then that can be filled in, and hopefully that is the last time we have to dig up anything to do with this extension. That is the last of the digging done, which will be great, because then all these mounds of dirt this whole part can be leveled out, because it's so like up and down at the moment, so it can all be leveled out. And then the other thing that we did was this is everywhere's such a mess, so it's not really doing anything justice. My job is tidying it so that things do look a little bit neater. We put a path around the studio. At this point I can't remember what I vlogged and what I haven't vlogged, but yeah, it's made a big difference, because now this looks very majestic, like it's floating on a big concrete pad. And then this will be filled with shingle. Eventually there'll be a whole path and stuff around here, and like beds there, so you won't see the side of this. The shingle will kind of sit level with the path. I do not have the words to describe how much joy this weather is bringing me. It's the kind of weather where you don't need the just-in-case jacket, you know, the backup coat. I can leave the house in this, and that's it. I'm going to be fine in this for the entire day. I know it's not going to last long, so I'm just like savouring it as much as I can. I'm in London all day today, in and out of meetings, which is a hard one to dress for, especially on a warm day, because that tube, it gets pretty gross down there. So I've gone for a knitted tank. You know how much I love a knitted tank, and Shayna Moe really just gets it. She creates the best knitted tanks. This one's super chunky and has this quite nice sort of rolled edge detail on the armholes, the neckline, and on the hem as well. But it's quite loose and breathable, which is great for today. I could have just done a plain black tank with this, but I feel like this is more interesting, a bit more texture, a much more relaxed shape as well. Agmus ring, Lee Studio bangle, Cosbel, and then these chinos from the row, which are quite old now, probably about 3 or 4 years old now. And then I'm being sensible, closed toe shoe. So I've gone for GH Bath loafer because these are so comfortable. I could do many, many miles in these. But yeah, there's something about an open toe, especially on a warm day, going on off the tube, like doing a lot of walking around the city. I'm like, so sensible shoe. And then bag wise, I'm going to go for the Studio Nicholson bag because it can literally fit everything in the kitchen sink in. It's so big and it's very soft and comfortable to wear. It can also be worn crossbody, which is great, and has a little pouch attached. So that's it. That's the look for today. Okay, first test of the pizza oven. I'm probably not going to be able to film and put this in the oven at the same time, so bear with me. How nice is this flower that I've just spotted in our garden? We've kind of uncovered this huge planter in our garden, which is, I mean, there's just tons of stuff in there, and we're kind of just letting it grow whilst also just keeping it tidy just to see what's in there. This is quite nice. I'm not sure what all this kind of like grassy kind of stuff is. I don't know if it's attached to this. There's a nice kind of pinky purple flower in there. But this is really nice. I'm wondering whether I can like propagate it or divide it so that it grows elsewhere. I'd love more of this. It's so beautiful. I might even just trim back the tree so it has a bit more space. Hopefully I am in the frame somewhere. I can't see, so I've just got to pray that you can see my full body. I am a woman who likes to pre-plan, which is why I'm planning a travel outfit for tomorrow. I just don't like doing these things on the day. It really stresses me out. I like to have things all planned like 1 to 2 days beforehand. I'm going to Ibiza for a very swift work trip, and it's going to be a full day of travel to get to my end location. So I want to be comfortable. I want to feel quite cool, you know, I don't want to overheat, but I'm also conscious that once I get off the plane, I've kind of got to go somewhere immediately. So I still want to feel like a bit put together, a bit like myself. I've also got to dress for the sporadic climate of England, but also Ibiza. Both look kind of similar at the moment, to be honest. As part of this video's sponsorship with Shona Mo, I picked out the boy trouser in linen. Because I wear the cotton version so much, it felt like a no-brainer getting the linen version. First impressions, the weight of the linen is beautiful. Such a nice texture. Like as a sensory experience, wearing them is very nice. I think the weight of the linen also gives them this very nice kind of like movement. They're just a really, really nice linen trouser that feel a little bit more refined than other linen trousers I own. Most of my linen trousers are quite lightweight and they've got elasticated waists. Which outside of a beach environment or a kind of holiday environment, sometimes with a linen trouser I kind of want a little bit more refinement, a little bit more elevation, and I think that's what these do with the pleats and the belt loops and, you know, the zip fly. It just feels like a bit more than a standard linen trouser. I've taken a lot of inspiration from Lauren Hutton with this. Dean got me some Vans for my birthday and I love the way Lauren Hutton wears them. There's actually a specific image that I've completely ripped this off where she's got white trousers on, some trainers that look very much like a Vans, but I don't actually know if they are Vans, and then I think she's got like a white tank top on and a blazer, so I've completely copied that. But I feel like I want to change out the top maybe to something either like a pop of colour or I don't know. I'm unsure on the beige, but the foundations of the outfit there, the blazer's a navy one from Margaret Howell. And then maybe if I add some more silver jewellery, I feel like the bag is a really nice colour against the navy. And then the sunglasses are kind of, you know, they create a little bit of tension, don't they? Do you know what? I ordered a t-shirt from a brand called Lisette, and I've just spotted this. It's pretty much identical to the colour of this St Agnes shirt. It's kind of like this green toned grey. That could be good with this. If that arrives before I leave tomorrow, I might try that, because I think that with this white and the navy, that could be quite a nice little palette of colours there. So I'll try that perhaps, because yeah, there's something about the beige. It's a really nice top though. It's quite a lightweight one from Daisy Studios, which is why I went for it, because I was like, it's super light, very comfortable. But yeah, I'm going to try that t-shirt when that arrives. But the bag for sure, because it's such a big bag. I'm about to depart for the airport because I'm going to Amsterdam for 2 nights. It's a very swift work trip, but on my departure day, I've got nothing on, so I've pretty much got like a half day completely free to explore. So I've just been on Amigo, which is a really handy travel app. I find it quite helpful to use Amigo when I don't have a lot of time and I just want to find maybe a nice place for breakfast or lunch, maybe like a couple of bookshops, a gallery, and because it's kind of a little bit curated, I feel like it speaks to kind of my aesthetic and the things I'm looking for. So I've just started a few places. I'm flying from Norwich, which is such a breeze. I don't fly from Norwich very often. Norwich is quite a small city, but we do have an airport, and I think there's about 3 or 4 direct flights back and forth to Amsterdam every single day. So as soon as I was like, a work trip to Amsterdam, yes, I'm going to fly from Norwich. And because the airport is so small, it's the type of airport where you can just turn up about 40 minutes before your flight and you just glide through. And what's even crazier is I can walk to the airport. Whenever I say this to people, they're like, wait, I can't picture in my head you can walk to an airport. I'm like, yeah, because I think obviously when you think of an airport, you think of it being really far out of a city, but because we already live on the outskirts of Norwich, we are quite close to the airport. It's literally like a 5-minute drive, half-hour walk. So I just thought, I'm going to walk it. I'm going to walk to the airport. I'm going to turn up about 40 minutes before my departure. It's been such a breeze. Normally I would go down to London, pack the night before, get this really early train because I'd get panicked that trains might be cancelled or delayed. This morning, I'd not packed a single thing. I was like, right, I'm just going to pack. I've had lunch, had such a chilled morning, and now I'm going to walk to the airport. I wish I could fly to more places from Norwich, because it's so much more, it's just easier. I'm supposed to be unpacking and tidying, but I'm here procrastinating. I realised that I didn't actually vlog the outfit that I wore whilst I was in Amsterdam. I only packed 1 day outfit because I was only there for 2 days, and then I had an evening outfit. But it is an outfit that I've worn a lot recently, so I actually already have a photo from when I wore it a couple of weeks ago. The Shane Moat boy trousers in black and the slightly thicker cotton. the green t-shirt from the Row a couple of seasons ago that you've seen many times before, and also the Totem trench that you've seen loads before. It was like 15 to 17 degrees with a chance of rain. With the trench, I'm really enjoying wearing the sleeves like really pushed up and then having loads of jewellery on, because it creates quite a cool shape. I think I did silver jewellery in that image, and I did silver jewellery in Amsterdam as well. And then, a very kind of risky shoe choice for a day walking around a city, I went for the Tabby ballet flat and was pleasantly surprised with how comfortable they were. They took quite a pounding. I even got caught in the rain for about 15 minutes and got absolutely drenched. So they took a pounding. I'm probably going to get them resold because the soles are looking a little bit worse for wear. But comfort-wise, I was really surprised at how comfortable they were, because they have a spongy insole, but it's a ballet flat at the end of the day. You don't really expect them to be hugely comfortable for a full day of walking. I've worn them a lot recently though, and they've really like softened and molded to my foot, so I think that has helped. I went up half a size because they are quite narrow. But yeah, pleasant discovery. Speaking of comfortable shoes, I also recently got a pair of Sleepers flip-flops. So I was in Arquette recently, and that's where I saw them and tried them on. I've been very intrigued by this kind of like tapered squared shape, and whenever I see them on someone else, I'm like, oh, it does look very nice on the foot. I've worn Havanas for years, and I don't love Havanas. I like them, but I don't love the way they look on my feet. There's something about the strap I don't really like. And I know they do a slimmer version, don't they, with like a much smaller strap. But the actual sole of the slimmer version is too slim for my wide foot. So I've been trying to look for a flip-flop that's refined, but still works for a wide foot. And the Sleepers flip-flops do that, and they're so comfortable. They're really spongy. This strap part is like super soft. It's really thin. So just a PSA, if you have been also looking at Sleepers, they're just so comfortable. Like they're great. Right, I need to stop procrastinating, don't I? Just get this unpacking done. The quest to wear these Totem shorts more has been successful so far. Have worn them quite a lot during the day, trying to like really wear them in and soften them up. My go-to is like white t-shirt or white tank and a flip-flop at the moment. And I'm now trying to make them work for an evening thing. So I'm basically just replicating how I wear them in the day, but slightly smarter. So white cotton shirt from Shane Mo, which is a great relaxed fit. Not so oversized that I feel like I'm drowning in fabric, but not so fitted that I feel like I'm off to the office. I've done a bit of a scrappy half tuck, which I'm going to refine a bit more in a moment, because I feel like a full tuck is very smart. And then I'm probably going to add even more jewellery, maybe like some more rings, another bracelet. This one's Lee Studio. Ring is also Lee Studio. Oh my, I look so orange. I fake tanned last night using the Tan Luxe drops, and I only used 2 drops, and I woke up this morning and was like, whoa, okay. Didn't do my neck very well, so I think that's why I'm looking so drastically orange at the moment. It actually looks worse on camera. In real life it's not so bad. I feel like tomorrow's the day where it's going to be like, okay, that's better. Anyway, and where was I? Bag is La Mer Egg, but I think I'm going to switch this out. I'm not feeling it with this. And then shoes, gone for something like a little bit different for me. Normally I'd be in something completely flat, but I think the shorts, being the longer length that they are, and I'm only 5'3", I need to like elongate the bottom half of my leg. So any sort of like ankle strap is just going to cut my leg in half. So I've gone for a very pared back dainty mule. These are from Dear Francis, and I think I really like the way they're working with the short. It's just the bag that needs switching out, maybe like a little leather pouch thing or a clutch or something like that. The foundations are there, a little bit of tweaking needs doing, but yeah, it's just classic, easy, it's working. I really like these shoes. I sound surprised, but I think it's because I've not tried anything like this before. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I like these. I had intended on finishing this vlog with a bit of a book chat, but I'm riddled with hay fever and cold at the moment. I feel gross, so I'm going to save it for a time where I feel a little bit more articulate. I also don't have that many books that I've really loved and want to talk about this year. I'm currently reading a book that I am actually really enjoying, Close to Home by Michael McGee, about halfway through, so hopefully in the next vlog I will have had I'll have a slightly larger stack of books to talk about. But until then, thanks so much for watching this mishmash of the last few weeks, and I'll see you all in the next one.